So welcome back. Today we're going to talk about perspective. And perspective is everything. You can have 20 people having the same experience, and some of them will love it, some of them will hate it, some of them will be neutral, because you have the people that find the best of the situation, you have people that find the worst in the situation. And you can be the one that always finds the best, or you can be the worst, and that's fine, because you have room to keep growing and shifting your perspective and making it better and better. In fact, if you look at things even as drastic as the Holocaust, you have people that suffered through that, and they would say how painful it was emotionally, physically, and then you would have people that actually saw it almost as a positive experience. They were able to see the positives out of it. Not that they saw it as a positive experience that people were getting killed, but they saw the positives in it. Like Viktor Frankl, A Man's Search for Meaning. And when he talks about how he was seeing the kindness in people, how people would be willing to give the only food that they had because they knew that somebody needed it more than they did. They saw how people helped each other and gave each other a hand. They saw how they made gratitude perspective of the smallest things that they could have and they can experience. So again, perspective is everything. So what I want to do with you today is to help shift your perspective. And in two ways. The first way is I want you to focus on the things that you tell yourself, well, I have to do this. I have to go to work. I have to write this paycheck. I have to get up. It's Monday. I have to get up in the morning. Maybe I hit a snooze button. I have to take my kids to do this and to do that, to do this. But I want you to shift that terminology from I have to I get to. And I'll tell you from personal experience that I remember I did have things that I thought I had to. But I had shifted the perspective to I get to a long time ago when I learned about this. I started utilizing it because words are so critical into creating our state of emotions. But then I got sick after traveling overseas, and I was almost bedridden for a year. And you start realizing the things that you're truly grateful for. Even the fact that I could walk to the bathroom in my house by myself without holding on to the wall, without any assistance, because that's how sick I got. So I really got to the place that I get to and still live in that state of mind that I get to. I get to take my daughter to school and prepare her stuff. I get to do some work. I get to take a walk around the neighborhood to exercise, to be fit. I get to write that check for that bill that I have to pay. In fact, every time, and I've done this for a long time, even before I got sick or anything else, every time that I go somewhere to eat or I go somewhere that I have to pay for something, I sign my name and I put a smiley face next to it. And it's funny to look at people's reactions. They look at it, they're like, okay. Because I'm happy that I'm able to do that. At one point in my life, I couldn't even pay my bills when I was young. I was living in an inflatable bed, really didn't have much. So again, I get to. So what I want you to do, what I get to, and I have to, is that throughout your day, I want you to think of the things that you tell yourself, I have to do this. And it has a negative feeling, because that's the difference. Think about it. If you say I get to, it's from a place of gratitude. You have a positive feeling. So what I want you to do is every time one I have to comes up, that you think about it that way. If you think about a situation negatively, I want you to write it down. I get to take my daughter to the play today. I get to do some work today. I get to do this. I get to pay this bill. So I want you to shift that perspective. The other perspective that I want you to shift is I can't. So many people say I can't. Well, it's just reality. When I talk to one of my clients or even friends or families, the first thing I'm talking about something, they're like, well, you can't do that because of this, or I can't do this because of that, or I can't because I have too many things going on in my life, or I don't have enough money. But shift that, because as soon as you say I can't, you're telling your brain, well, it can't happen. So move on to the next thing. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. So your brain doesn't actually look for ways to actually make it happen. And you'd be surprised how creative you can be to create anything that you want in your life. Because again, your brain is constantly seeking whatever goals you tell it to. And you might say, well, I want this in my life. But then if you start setting obstacles, then you're never going to achieve it. So what I want you to think of it is I want you to do the same thing. So you're going to have the have tos and I get to, and you're going to have the I can't and how can I. So even the fact that you shift your thoughts and how can I do this, it shifts your brain. So how can I make 6 figures a year? How can I create more time in my life? How can I do this and do this at the same time? How can I enjoy my work? It's because then your brain, again, opens up the door for that possibility. It opens up the door for your brain to seek a way to make that happen. It's very powerful. It sounds very simple, very, very simple, but it's very powerful. So again, what I want you to do is take your notebook and write every time you come up with I have to, or if you can think of some that you already do, or times that you say I can't, and then start writing them down and then shift them to I get to or how can I. Reframe them in a way that, again, is going to empower you, is going to shift your perspective, and is going to create more happiness in your life. And every time you find one and you reframe it, I want you to do one thing. So I want you to repeat it to yourself, the phrase 5 times. Because you're not only recognizing it, you're not only writing it, but you're also seeing it when you're writing it. And you're also repeating it to yourself. So you're finding different ways of reinforcing it in your brain and hardwiring that. How can I? And I get to. And if you do anything else, the simple action throughout your life can make such a big impact in creating happiness in your daily life. Remember, you get to. And remember, there is a way. It's just asking yourself, how can I? Enjoy it and have fun.